If you look under the hood of global finance, you will find the repurchase agreement, or repo market. It serves as the daily plumbing where institutions manage their liquidity. Today, that system represents a $12 trillion bottleneck. On your screen, modern trading applications execute orders in milliseconds, but the settlement layers driving those trades are stuck in the pre-internet era, operating on systems that take days to actually reconcile the capital. For years, major banks faced a structural paradox. They recognized the mathematical efficiency of blockchain technology, but their strict compliance mandates required absolute data privacy. They could not broadcast proprietary trading data to competitors on an open ledger. To bypass this, financial institutions tried building walled garden private blockchains. They succeeded in isolating their data, but they simultaneously isolated their liquidity. A closed network cannot facilitate the deep, cross-border economic activity that legacy finance relies on. That private blockchain model has proven insufficient for global scale. We are currently watching an institutional migration away from closed systems, with banks leaning directly into public Layer 1 architectures like the XRP Ledger. To capture this $12 trillion market, a foundational protocol must solve a technical contradiction. It has to provide impenetrable corporate privacy while remaining connected to deep, interoperable public liquidity. Historically, legacy financial players possessed a severe hesitance to deploy billions of dollars onto public infrastructure. The risk of exposing capital positions outweighed the benefits of speed. As we see here, the walled garden approach on the left stifles economic activity. By restricting access, it chokes off the liquidity needed to scale. The breakthrough is adding a zero-knowledge proof privacy layer directly onto the XRPL ledger. Zero-knowledge proofs operate on a specific mathematical implication. They allow one party to prove to another that a transaction is valid without revealing the underlying proprietary data. The math verifies the truth while shielding the details from competitors. This specific cryptographic upgrade is the catalyst. It gives Tier 1 institutions the exact compliance parameters they need to safely utilize a public ledger. By addressing the privacy liquidity friction at the base layer, the XRPL is structurally positioning itself as the core operational plumbing for a modernized financial system. The shift from private to public ledgers is being accelerated by a macro market catalyst, BlackRock's initiative to tokenize its money market funds and ETFs over the coming months. BlackRock controls roughly $5.1 trillion globally across its ETFs. Migrating even a fraction of this portfolio on-chain creates intense systemic pressure. Competitors must adapt their infrastructure to match this tokenization efficiency or risk immediate obsolescence. The remaining hurdle for total global institutional adoption is legal. Securities regulations are heavily fragmented across different international jurisdictions. In the United States, the legislative push for the Clarity Act is attempting to resolve this. Key industry leaders like Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse have been directly advising lawmakers to draft sensible frameworks, regulating the use cases rather than the base technology. Clear regulations in the U.S. trigger a competitive response globally. Because liquidity naturally migrates toward the most transparent jurisdictions, regulators in Europe and Asia are incentivized to harmonize laws to prevent capital flight. The combination of BlackRock's capital mobilization and emerging regulatory harmonization leaves institutions with an unavoidable mandate: upgrade to tokenized infrastructure or lose your liquidity. The specific mechanical target for this upgraded infrastructure is the $12 trillion repo market. This network handles the high-volume plumbing for institutional liquidity, transacting close to $2 trillion every single day. Look at this schematic of the current system. The core operational flaw of legacy finance is its reliance on T+1 and T+2 settlement delays. Capital does not move instantly. It gets caught in administrative transit. Because of this waiting period, institutions are forced to lock up between $3 to $5 trillion globally. This capital sits entirely dormant, acting as a buffer to manage credit risk while waiting for trades to clear. The XRP Ledger provides a direct alternative. By integrating Tier 1 stablecoins like RLUSD with tokenized money market funds, the ledger allows assets to move concurrently. Deterministic, instantaneous settlement on the blockchain entirely removes the administrative gap. If the trade settles in 3 seconds, the counterparty risk vanishes, and the need for a multi-trillion-dollar credit buffer collapses. Solving the T+2 inefficiency recovers roughly $5 trillion in trapped liquidity, putting it back into active economic production. Moving an asset on-chain is only the initial requirement. A tokenized real-world asset holds no strategic advantage if it sits dormant without triggering a self-sustaining cycle of economic activity. In the first quarter of this year, a new amendment brought a native lending protocol into the XRPL's architecture. Complex risk analysis occurs off-chain through legacy systems, while execution and liquidity pooling happen natively on the ledger. Operationally, this allows institutions to execute structured loan terms in 3 to 5 seconds at a transaction cost measured in fractions of a penny. This precision addresses a structural gap in how credit reaches small and medium enterprises. These firms drive over 50% of global GDP, but the high administrative costs and slow settlement of legacy banks often make small-scale lending uneconomical. By automating risk execution on the XRPL, these previously unviable transactions become efficient. This allows capital to reach sectors fueling growth without the friction of legacy compliance burdens. The objective for institutional adoption on the XRPL goes beyond simple payments. It is about creating decentralized liquidity pools to activate dormant value across the global economy. The migration of trillions of dollars into public ledger infrastructure represents an upgrade to the invisible plumbing of global finance. Public blockchains equipped with zero-knowledge privacy and native lending protocols are structurally designed to absorb this Tier 1 institutional liquidity. Tracking this volume requires tools built for speed. That is exactly why we developed Gem Intel Pro. We engineered this platform to process hundreds of cryptocurrency blocks, analyze complex chart patterns, and aggregate global news indicators in a matter of seconds, giving you a distinct analytical advantage. You can access your free trial right now by clicking the link pinned in the comments and the description below. If you found this breakdown valuable, hit the like button. It directly helps the YouTube algorithm push this free educational content to thousands of other motivated traders. Make sure to use the hype button as well. It is free for your first 7 days, and it heavily boosts the video's ranking on the platform. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell notification so you never miss our daily deep dives into the XRP ecosystem. Join the free Gem Intel Pro community. It is the best place to receive daily technical alerts and network with serious analysts. Finally, if you are looking for a reliable place to trade, check out our trusted exchange partners, Bybit and Binance. Using the affiliate links below directly supports the production of these videos. As always, cryptocurrency trading carries a high degree of risk. This video is strictly for educational purposes and should not be taken as financial advice. Trade with discipline, respect your stop loss, and protect your capital. I'll see you in the next one.